So today, I'm going to be showing you the run that I did in the Rocketeer Draft Challenge. I actually did the run before, and as soon as I finished the run, the video got deleted. I'm super mad about that, and super sad that I had to show you the run via replays, but that is the only way I can show you my run. And regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed these replays. My name is Mike, and I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Alrighty, this is the first run. It doesn't show the heroes that I picked, but as you can see, I picked the Blacksmith, Thunderpaws, and the Paladin paired up with the Rocketeer. He starts off with the Assassin. At first, I thought, you know what, this is good. The Assassin cannot do much. He does buff up his Rocketeer. I'm here like, I have to move that Assassin out of the way. So I'm going to try to push the Rocketeer towards the Assassin and try to push him out of the way. We did hit him 3 times with the Rocketeer, but sadly the Assassin did not get pushed away. So he's going to hit my Rocketeer towards the Assassin. And look at this. Yeah, like Rocketeer got hit hard and the Paladin died. That Assassin was such in a great position for him. Now I cannot even heal up anymore. My Thunderpaws goes next. So I was like, what can I do with the Thunderpaws here? So I decided to just try to double hit the Assassin right here. Managed to do it while making collision damage to spawn these charges. Not a bad play at all. His Ice Queen goes next. I believe he's going to hit my Rocketeer. Since my Rocketeer has 5 rockets, he decides to go after my Rocketeer. And he manages to push it towards the Assassin to take me out. I'm here like, well, so much for that. My best bet is to try to play around with the Thunderpaws' charges while giving him the attack buff right there. I did spawn 2 charges right there around all of his heroes for 52 damage. Not terrible, but then again, not the greatest as well. He manages to hit my Thunderpaws for like 170 damage right there. Definitely not the greatest. I'm here like, let me just hit the champion and the Blacksmith right there. I think I did take out the Assassin finally right here. He only had 1 health, which is freaking absurd. But we finally took out the Assassin right there. Champion goes next. I feel like this is where he is going to win right here. So he's going to hit the Thunderpaws right there. Takes out my Thunderpaws. I'm here like, yeah, we cannot do anything with the Blacksmith. So I decided to just surrender immediately right there. Wasn't able to do anything right there with the lone Blacksmith. So sadly, we just had to stop it right there. So that is our first loss in the run. Very first match, our first loss. Not the greatest start, but you never know that we can still go far. Let's continue on. Alrighty, second match here. Got the Sorceress, Wraith, and the Thunder Idol. I was like, you know what? We got the Sorceress. I'm very good about this. My Rocketeer goes first. Definitely not the greatest start that I want to have. I could have went for damage, but I decided to buff up the Rocketeer instead. So I decided to push my Rocketeer towards the Thunder Idol, I believe. Yep. So I decided to do that. And there you go. I decided to do that. So the Rocketeer has 1 rocket. His Rocketeer goes next. I think he's going to push the Assassin. I believe he's going to do that. Try to push the Assassin. Yep, he's going to try to push the Assassin towards the Rocketeer. And he manages to do it. So very well played from his behalf for 179 damage. My Sorceress goes next. So this is where I can buff up my units. Enchant his units. So I decide to buff up my Rocketeer, or hit his Rocketeer. Buff up my Rocketeer and enchant the Assassin and the Shaman. I was like, that was a fantastic play right there. Can't complain about that. His Assassin goes next, so thankfully he's not going to be able to use his ability. I think he's just going to hit the Sorceress. Honestly, that's fine with me. He only hits the Sorceress once and then the Wraith. I'm here like, you know what? We don't want the Wraith there. Or we don't want the Assassin there. So I could have went after the Shaman and the Assassin, but I was like, let me focus on the Assassin instead. So I decided to take out the Assassin. Thankfully, was able to take him out because of the enchantment that he has. So there you go. We removed his enchantment. Super happy about, or his Assassin, sorry. Super happy about that. Alright, his Shaman goes next. This is where he's going to enchant a couple of heroes, I believe. It's been a minute. It's been an hour. Oh yeah, he's going after the Sorceress, and he is going to enchant the Thunder Idol as well. Very well played. I'm here like, okay, with my Thunder Idol, let me... I think I buff up my Rocketeer, and then hit his Rocketeer and the Thunder Idol right there. Yeah, we did a little bit of damage right there. And look at this, my Rocketeer has 5 rockets, so I'm like, okay, we should be able to, do well here, try to win here. So he's going to go after my Rocketeer. He does manages to deal lots of damage right there, so I'm like, let me just take him out right there. And there you go with that. We actually did take out the Thunder Idol, but his Rocketeer actually stayed alive, surprisingly. So his Rocketeer goes next. He's going after the Thunder Idol and the Wraith. I'm here like, wow. Even though we did well, we can actually still lose here. I'm here like, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? My Sorceress goes next. I'm here like, let me take out this Rocketeer, I guess. So I do, oh no, I decided to go after the Shaman. Since the Rocketeer only has one rocket, I was like, you know what, let me just go after the Shaman. Yeah, that's what I did. Now I remember, that's exactly what I did. Alright, so here we have the Shaman. He is going for my Wraith, Rocketeer, and the Sorceress. Actually hits both of them. Very well played. He actually manages to hit both of them. I'm here like, oh gosh. I need to take out the Shaman somehow. I need to take out the Shaman somehow because the Sorceress only had like 100 health at this point. Definitely not going to survive the next turn if the Shaman stays alive. So I'm here like, let me see if I can try to take out the Shaman right here. And as you can see, I completely missed a double hit on the Shaman. So here comes the Rocketeer. His best bet is to shoot the Sorceress towards the Shaman or shoot the Sorceress towards the Rocketeer to take him out. And I'm here like, he completely missed here. It's like, oh my goodness, I actually have a chance here. I actually have a chance to win this match. I just need to hit both of them once for the win. And look at this. In my head, I was like, I gotta hit the Rocketeer first and then I'll hit the Shaman. So I was like, I have to carefully do this properly. So I'm going to hit the Rocketeer like this, and the Sorceress missed the Shaman. The Sorceress missed the Shaman. The Shaman only had 7 health. I needed one more hit to take him out, and I failed. I needed that win right there so badly, but as you can see, guys, not the greatest start of the run. We literally have 0 wins and 2 losses at this point. One more life and the run is going to end right there. So definitely not the greatest run, but we're going to hope that we can still go far in this run. Let's continue on. All right, here we have the Bomber, Werewolf, and the Scarecrow. I'm like, you know what? I'm very happy with this deck. His deck, I'm not too happy with it because he has Scarecrow, Gargoyle. But thankfully, you know, the Gargoyle doesn't use his ability right here. I'm here like, my Bomber goes first. I'm going to try to hit the Scarecrow towards the Gargoyle and then buff up the Rocketeer. I do hit the Scarecrow, but I did not get pushed towards the Gargoyle. I do manage to buff up the Rocketeer and hit the Goblin instead with the Scarecrow. So, not the greatest play, but definitely wasn't the worst either. His Gargoyle goes next. I think he just goes for straight damage on the... Oh, no, he decides to go after the Rocketeer. Okay. Hits the Rocketeer. Hits the Scarecrow. Actually goes after the Bomber. I mean, here, like, this is a good play to hit the Scarecrow towards the Rocketeer. Look at the damage that I did to his Scarecrow. That was good. And my Rocketeer has 3 rockets, so I'm here sitting good. Sitting real good. He's going for my Rocketeer to see if he can take me out with the Scarecrow. Thankfully, he does not do that. So my Rocketeer goes next. I try to aim towards the Goblin to hit all 3 of them. And I managed to do it. His Goblin died because of the Scarecrow. So we don't need to worry about his Goblin's ability anymore. Scarecrow goes next. Thankfully, the Scarecrow won't be able to use his ability here. He decides to go after the Rocketeer and the Bomber here. He hits my Werewolf as well. So I'm here like, you know what? Let me hit a Scarecrow towards the Bomber. The Bomber does a lot of damage here. And look at that. We actually did take out the Scarecrow. And he decides to surrender there because he knows that he's not going to win with the Gargoyle and the Rocketeer right there. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to be my first win finally. Let's freaking go. 1 win, 2 losses. Still got a long way to go. Hopefully we can go far. Let's continue on. Alrighty, so here we have this Enchantress, Mice Bandit, and the Paladin. So we got, you know, heroes to enchant, Mice Bandit for damage, and the Paladin to heal. My Rocketeer goes first. I'm like, instead of buffing up, I'm going to hit the Wraith towards the Mice Bandit. So, hey, the Wraith did take like 120 damage right there, which is a good start, okay-ish. He decides to go after my Enchantress right here, and he does perform it well, pushing the Wraith towards the Mice Bandit as well. I'm here like, let me hit the Wraith, heal up the Paladin, also giving him a buff, or heal up the Enchantress, also giving the Paladin a buff, and I think I also give the Mice Bandit a buff here as well. And yes, I do. Also hitting and healing up the Mice Bandit too, so that was a great play. Healing up both Mice Bandit and the Enchantress right there. Now he focuses on my Mice Bandit right there, hitting him 4 times. So the Mice Bandit almost just died right there. But I'm here like, you know what, that's fine. Instead of healing, I'm going to heal up the Mice Bandit. Hit the Frostfox twice, buffing up the Rocketeer too. Okay, I'm here like, okay, that's good. Frostfox does go next. He can actually heal up by hitting my heroes. So I'm like, not the greatest, but he does manage to heal up the Frostfox once while hitting the Paladin for quite a lot, honestly. I'm here like, what can I do? I would like to heal up the Mice Bandit, but I believe it's best to just buff up the Rocketeer while healing him up. So I decide to just buff up the Rocketeer here. Rocketeer has 4 rockets. I'm here like, you know what? That's great. The Rocketeer should definitely stay alive here for sure, easily. While he focuses on the Paladin and the Rocketeer, I think the Paladin... Oh no, the Paladin is still alive. My Rocketeer goes next. I'm definitely hitting all 3 of these guys right here. Let's freaking go. Also, healing up the Enchantress just to make his life miserable. Off to a great start here for me. Rocketeer goes next. He only has 1 rocket. He's definitely not going to do much. He's going to hit all 3 of them, but thankfully it's only for like 71 damage. Definitely nothing to worry about. He does manage to take out the Mice Bandit with the Blaze. I'm like, very good play. I'm here like, okay, what can I do? I think I should focus on his Frostfox, try to double hit his Frostfox, and then hit the Rocketeer. I do manage to hit the Rocketeer, but sadly it wasn't towards the Paladin. Hitting the Paladin would have taken out the Rocketeer right there. Blaze goes next. He's going to take out the Paladin here. Thankfully, he didn't do too much damage, only burning the Enchantress as well. I'm here like, you know what? I should either go after the Rocketeer or the Blaze. I usually try to leave the Rocketeer as the last man unit, but in this case, I decided to go after the Rocketeer first, and then we'll worry about the Blaze later. May not have been the greatest play, but regardless, I decided to do that, and now the Blaze goes next. He's going to hit the Enchantress and the Rocketeer here. Actually misses the Rocketeer, completely forgot about that. I'm here like, well, I do need 2 hits to take out the Blaze. So I'm going to try to get the double hit right here. Do this, and I somehow managed to get the double hit right there on the Blaze for the win. Let's freaking go, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to be, if I remember correctly, second win or 3rd win. I don't even remember at all. I do apologize about that. But regardless, it is another win regardless with 1 more life left to go. Let's continue on. Alrighty, I do have 2 wins here. I decided to pick the Wraith, Archon, and the Puppet Master in this match right here. He does have Enchantress. I did not enjoy seeing him having the Enchantress right there. He's going to buff the Rocketeer and place a charge on the board. I'm like, okay. My Wraith goes next. I thought about buffing up the Rocketeer, but I was like, I gotta go for damage here. So I decided to go after the Thunderpaws, Rocketeer, and I think I also hit the Enchantress, while double hitting the Rocketeer as well. So I'm like, let me do this. Sadly missed the Goblin right there by literally an inch right there. But we did a good play. We hit 3 units right there for a decent amount of damage right there. Thankfully, he only hits the Archon once. So I was like, okay, let me see what can I do here with the Thunderpaws. I decided to try to go for the double hit on the Thunderpaws here. Like that. Push him towards the Rocketeer. And we didn't. Look at that. The Archon literally went up and down to hit the Thunderpaws right there. That was a lucky play. That was I definitely needed that play right there. Alright, so Goblin goes next. He's going to hit both Wraith and Rocketeer. He does buff up his Rocketeer. He's doing very well here, buffing up his Rocketeer. Alright, my Puppet Master goes next. I think I decide... Oh no, he decides to surrender right there. Oops. Alright. I completely forgot that he decides to surrender right there. And let's freaking go, guys. That's going to be my 3rd win of the run here. So 3 wins, 2 losses. Doing okay in this run right now. Let's continue on. Alrighty, here is my 6th match, because we got 3 wins, 2 losses. I decided to take the Treant, Werewolf, and the Blacksmith for this run here, or for this match right here. I decided to just try to buff up the Rocketeer as much as possible. I actually hit the Rocketeer, and look at that, we actually buffed up the Treant as well. We did damage to his Satyr, Banshee, and the Champion, so I was like, honestly, that was a good play. Definitely a good play overall right there. He's going to hit the Rocketeer and just the Rocketeer right there, and the Blacksmith right there. He enchants all of his units with a speed buff. I'm like, oh no. He enchants all of his heroes with a speed buff. I just pushed the Treant towards the, towards the Satyr right there. Also buff up my Rocketeer and hit his Rocketeer. So I was like, okay, not bad. Not a bad play right there. Alright, so now this is where my Rocketeer goes next. Decides to hit the Champion, Banshee, and the Satyr right there. Definitely the play that I wanted to do right there. His Satyr is almost dead. I'm like, okay, I should probably take out his Satyr before he does a lot of damage to me. He decides to go after the Blacksmith and the Treant right there. The Werewolf's ability got activated, which is good for me. My Blacksmith goes next. What did I do? I decided to take out the Satyr. Just play it safe, take out the Satyr right there. Also hitting the Banshee. Sadly, the Banshee does not get taken out there. Almost got taken out by being pushed towards the Rocketeer, but that missed. Champion goes next. He decides to, I believe... No, okay. He goes after the Blacksmith and the Rocketeer. Misses the Rocketeer, thankfully. Ability goes off. Okay. And now this is where my werewolf, or sorry, my treant goes next. I'm here like, okay, I can actually use the werewolf's damage, buffing up by the treant to hit the Rocketeer. And look at that. Also taking out the champion right there. That was like fantastic. I definitely needed to do that much damage on the Rocketeer. Missed the Banshee, sadly, but regardless, I still feel like we're doing really good here. He did a lot of damage to my werewolf and the treant right there. I'm like, okay, I need to hit the Banshee and the treant, or sorry, and the Rocketeer here. So I decided to play like this, and miraculously, I actually managed to hit the Rocketeer. Definitely needed that damage here. It's a 3v1, and he has 3 rockets right now. He focuses on who? On my Rocketeer. I was actually surprised I decided to focus on my Rocketeer there. I really was. I mean, like, okay. Oh, he knows it right there that he's not going to win with a lone Rocketeer at the end there, so he decides to surrender right there. And that is going to be my 4th win. So 4 wins, 2 losses. Doing okay now, 4 wins in a row. Let's continue on. Alright, so here we have the Banshee, Cleric, and the Vampire. We got the Cleric. Let's freaking go. My Banshee goes first. I think I just decided to just buff up the Rocketeer once and then hit his Rocketeer. Yep, there you go. 55 damage. Can't complain about that. Buffing up my Vampire with a speed buff. And this is where we can go crazy here with the Cleric. Look at this. His Rocketeer has 5 rockets. I'm not enjoying that. So I decided to go after the Shaman and the Rocketeer here. Just push his heroes around. We took out his Shaman. But his Rocketeer is still alive. A little bit nervous about that, honestly. His Arrowheart goes next. Arrowheart and Rocketeer together, I don't think that's the play, honestly. He decides to go after the Vampire, push him towards the Orc. The Orc uses his ability. I'm here like, okay. I'm not enjoying this. I need to heal up the Vampire. So I decided to go after the Orc, I believe. Yep, hit the Orc, and then I should be able to hit the Rocketeer or Arrowheart. And yes, we do hit the Arrowheart. Double hitting the Orc as well. Rocketeer goes next. He's definitely going to hit both of them. I'm not surprised. That was a very good play. The Orc uses his ability again. He is playing that very well with the Orc right there. My Rocketeer goes next. My Rocketeer only has 2 rockets, so I'm just going to hit both Arrowheart and the Rocketeer right here. There you go. Damaging both of them pretty good right there. Orc goes next. He is definitely going to try to take out the Cleric. The Cleric is actually still alive. The Banshee, look at the Banshee. The Banshee is between the Arrowheart and the Orc right there. I'm just going to hit both of them because there's not much I can do. And of course, the Vampire healed up a little bit more, which is good. Arrowheart does go next. He's going to hit the Vampire and the Rocketeer here. The Vampire got hit once again, but I think the Vampire is still alive. Very weak, but he is still alive. I feel like I gotta take out his Orc. His Orc has a bunch of health. And yes, we do. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. We took out his Orc. Only the Arrowheart is left alive. My saving grace is the Banshee because the Banshee has a decent amount of health. But look at this, like the Vampire has 18 health. Cleric, I can't even see the Cleric's health anymore, but just know that he was going to die in 1 hit as well. The Banshee was my saving grace right there. So that is going to be my 5th win, guys. 5th win. We're doing fantastic. Fantastic, guys. Let's continue on. Alrighty, for this match, I decided to pick the Enchantress, Cleric, and the Knight. Alright, so he has Frog Mystic and the Paladin to heal up. So he has a heal deck, sort of, with the Rocketeer. You guys know how strong a Rocketeer heal deck is. He decides to buff up the Rocketeer. It's smart. Buff up the Rocketeer. The Rocketeer has 3 rockets now. Definitely not good for me. My Enchantress goes next. I'm here like, well, I could buff up the Rocketeer, but I'm going to buff up the Knight and the Cleric. Or sorry, not the Cleric. The Cultist instead. With the Enchantress's ability, his Frog Mystic just almost died immediately. I'm here like, great. Great, great, great. He is going to buff up his Rocketeer and hit my Rocketeer. Rocketeer has 4 rockets while my Rocketeer only has 1. Definitely not the greatest right there. My Cleric goes first. I thought a lot and hard about this, but I believe it was the best idea to take out his Frog Mystic and try my best to go for the, damage with the runes right there. And honestly, not a bad play. I am actually surprised that the runes did not hit the Rocketeer there. Very surprised about that. His Rocketeer goes next. Or, wait a second. No, I was talking about my Rocketeer. Scratch that. I do apologize about that. He hits my Rocketeer and the Cleric right there. Very well played. So I'm here like, let me just hit both the Rocketeer and his Paladin right here. I decide to hit it at an angle so that my Rocketeer hits my Knight. So that way my Rocketeer can get buffed. Oops, sorry about the notification. Let that go away real quick. Alright, so the Mice Bandit does go next. He's trying to go after my Knight and buff up his Rocketeer. Very well played. Alright, my Knight goes next. A buffed Knight is very dangerous, dude. So I'm here like, should we just go after the Paladin or the Mice Bandit? I decided to go after my Rocketeer to buff him up and then hit the Cultist towards the Mice Bandit. And the Knight actually did a little bit of damage to his Rocketeer, so honestly not a bad play. Paladin goes next. He is going to heal up the Rocketeer, I believe. He's going to hit the Knight and heal up the Rocketeer. The Rocketeer has 5 rockets and he healed up the Mice Bandit. I'm here like, golly, this is very dangerous. I'm going to try to hit the Knight towards the Paladin and the Mice Bandit. I missed the Paladin, but we actually triple hit the Knight. And of course the Enchantress was actually there to hit the Paladin. So I was like, honestly, that was great. That was great. Here he decides to hit the Cultist and the Rocketeer here. So I'm here like, okay, now this is where it's getting a little bit dangerous here. We do have a attack buff Knight, which is amazing. I'm here like, I have to take out his Mice Bandit. So that way he stops using his attack powers on me. Also hitting the Paladin. Paladin is weak now. So it's a 2v2 now. Enchantress and the Knight here. I have to take out his Paladin so that way he stops buffing up the Rocketeer. And of course healing him up. But he is going to heal up the Rocketeer instead of dealing damage. He fully heals up the Rocketeer and made his Rocketeer get 3 rockets. I'm like, okay. We have to take out his Paladin now. Like, we have to. So I decide to try to hit the Paladin like this to get a double hit. And we managed to get a double hit right there. So I was like, great. It's a 2v1. Rocketeer has 3 rockets though. But after this, he is only going to have 1 rocket for the rest of the match. He decides to go after the Knight. It makes sense to go after the Knight. For 181 damage, very well played. I'm here like, the Knight goes next. We don't want to hit the Rocketeer with the enchantment. I want to hit him with the Knight. So I decided to do a wall bounce like this. We actually managed to get a double hit. That was a lucky play here. I'm here like, oh, but still. My units are together. That's not good. So he's going to try to hit it like this. And he manages to hit both of them. And the Rocketeer hits the Knight for... So he did 80 damage to the Knight. Well played. So I'm like, I'm going to hit the Rocketeer like this. Push him towards the Knight. The Knight again gets a double hit right there. So the Rocketeer only has one rocket and literally 1 more turn to win this match. And he just hits the Enchantress right there. I'm here like, okay, we just gotta hit the Rocketeer once. And bada bing, bada boom, we just won that match. Very, very insane match right there. But let's freaking go, ladies and gentlemen. We just got a crazy win right there. Can't complain about that. Let's continue on. Alrighty, so we got 6 wins now, ladies and gentlemen. 6 wins. We got the Werewolf, Enchantress, and the Warlord. My Werewolf goes first, and she did get the attack buff here. So I'm here like, I gotta try to enchant the Werewolf and then hit either the Mummy or the Rocketeer. And I actually managed to hit both of them. For 84 damage to start things off, I'm like, perfect. That was a perfect start. He's going to buff up the Rocketeer all the way to 5 rockets. I'm like, great. Just great. My Enchantress goes next. I'm here like, man, I really want to use the Werewolf for damage. So I tried to hit the Mummy towards the Werewolf. Completely missed, but we actually do hit the Jawsome instead with the Werewolf. I'm like, I'll take it. He's going for the Warlord here. Double hitting. Hits the Werewolf as well twice, and then hits the Enchantress. Look at that. He actually hits all 3 of my units for 220 damage, and of course the Jawsome was there to deal that extra damage. Very well played. Warlord does go next. I'm here like, I really want to just buff up the Warlord here. So I decide to do that. Jawsome getting more damage right there. So I'm very happy that the Jawsome is taking a bunch of damage right here. Alright. His Mummy goes next. He's going to hit my Warlord here. Thankfully, the Warlord is still alive. And the Werewolf, I'm here like, okay. The werewolf survived with only 25 health. I had to deal damage, a lot of damage, and the werewolf got the buff. So I have to hit the Rocketeer, or at least I want to hit the Rocketeer. So I decide to hit the Rocketeer here, bouncing off the wall like that, and then that should hit the werewolf. And there you go. And look at that. We managed to double hit the Rocketeer right there. Such a lucky play. I would have lost if the Rocketeer did not get taken out. So he's going after the Rocketeer, and this is where my werewolf will die. That werewolf was literally my saving grace right there. Alright, so I think my Enchantress goes next here. Yeah, I think the Enchantress goes next. Yeah, the Enchantress goes next. I decide to buff up the Rocketeer and then hit the Mummy, I believe, or the Jawsome, one of those two. Only the Mummy. And we actually buffed up the Warlord as well, so just in case if he actually stays alive, the Warlord can actually go next, if he stays alive. So Cannonmaster does go next. He's going for the Rocketeer. He was trying to hit the Warlord and missed. And he also missed a double hit on the Rocketeer. I'm like, great. My Warlord goes next. I'm here like, what can I do here? So I decided to try to hit the Mummy like this and then hit the Jawsome. We actually hit the Cannonmaster instead. I'm like, you know what? That's fine. We missed the Jawsome, but we actually did hit the Cannonmaster. That's an okay play. Okay play in my eyes. Now the Jawsome is going after the Rocketeer. I'm like, okay. Look at the Jawsome going on the journey, and then pulls the Rocketeer once again, going on the journey once again. I'm here like, okay, what can I do? Go after the Jawsome or go after the Cannonmaster. I decided to go. I think it was towards the Jawsome. No, scratch that. No, it was towards the Cannonmaster. So I decided to go after the Cannonmaster instead. I decided to try to push the Warlord towards the Jawsome, and we actually pulled that off. Look at that, 116 damage, but the Jawsome is still alive with only 24 health. He literally has one more chance to win here, and I was scared because he could have won here. He's going to hit the Enchantress like that. He hits the Jawsome, and then pulls the Rocketeer towards the Jawsome, actually getting a double kill right there. But the Enchantress survived. The Enchantress survived, ladies and gentlemen. And there you go with that, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to be my 7th win, I believe. If I'm doing the math correctly, that is my 7th win. Let's freaking go, ladies and gentlemen. So, it was such a crazy run. Such a crazy run, but we managed to pull off a crazy win right there. 7 wins, 2 losses. Let's continue on.